You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode 123. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? In this episode, I'm going to share with you how to navigate love as a life coach. I'm really excited to go over this with you all. So if you are a coach listening and you're on a path in your life where you are empowering others, you might simultaneously have a concern about how being on the path you're on might influence your own romantic pursuits and your own intimate relationships. So whether you are single and dating and also working as a coach, or you're already in a relationship, I'm going to share with you how to navigate love and dating as a life coach. And I'm talking about you personally applying strategies to your own relationships, not necessarily how you would approach challenges with a client. This episode is about supporting you, the coach. So I'm going to go over some different concerns and doubts and even fears that may arise for you as you navigate the balance between coaching and also maintaining your own meaningful relationships in your life. I'm going to unpack some of the worries that might be surrounding you on becoming a coach and how that might impact your dating life or your intimate relationships. And I'll also go over how coaching, learning the skill of coaching, can also be your greatest asset when it comes to dating and relationships. Now, this is an episode that I really wish I would have had insight on when I got started as a coach, because as many of you already know, I got started in my early 20s as a life coach, and I was in a new relationship at that time. And over the past decade of being in the coaching industry, I've been in a few long-term relationships. Those relationships have had their ups and downs. I consider all of them to be successful relationships. And it's been quite a journey in my personal life as I've built up a successful coaching business to also see how choosing the path of coaching and honoring this calling in my life has influenced my romantic relationships. And there are so many ways that knowing coaching, so many ways that it's enhanced my dating life. And it's also had some drawbacks as well in the beginning. As a coach, as someone that was identifying as a life coach, when that was a new identity to take on, I had a lot of expectations that I started to put on myself, on who I thought I should be in the relationship as someone who was working as a life coach. And there were also many expectations that I put on relationships in general, in what I thought they needed to look like and in ways that I needed to model like a perfect relationship because I'm working as a life coach. So there are lots of assumptions that can go on when you are a coach and the way it might impact your love life. One type of assumption will be on the assumptions that the people that you are dating make, or the people that you're in relationships with or married to. There will be assumptions that those individuals may make when they hear that you are a coach. The other type of assumption are the assumptions that you may make about yourself being a coach and navigating your personal relationships, and assumptions that you may make about the relationship in itself and the people that you are in relationship with. So I want to start with the assumptions that other people might make and then how to handle those assumptions. And then we're going to go into the assumptions that you might make. And then finally, I want to end this episode with the amazing benefits of knowing the skill of coaching, because I do truly believe, because you're going to hear a lot of challenges at first in this episode, but I want you to listen all the way to the finish line, because you're going to really see how overall learning the skill of coaching is such a net positive in your life. I feel like learning the skill of coaching has enhanced my relationship in ways I never could have imagined if I didn't know how to incorporate the skill. Okay, so first, let's start with the tough things that are going to happen, the assumptions. So here are some assumptions that people might have when they realize that they are dating a coach like you, or they realize, wow, I am married to a life coach. And you can interchange the word life coach with any kind of coach. These are various assumptions that people might have. They might think, wow, you must have all the answers and you must be able to fix any relationship issue. Or, you're probably going to constantly analyze and psychoanalyze everything that goes on in our relationship. Or, you probably don't need any support or guidance in the relationship because, after all, you're a coach. Or, you're always probably going to evaluate and critique all of our communication and interactions we have. Or they might assume, wow, this coach, they're going to start applying coaching techniques on me without my consent. Or they may think, oh, this coach I'm with, they're going to start having these unrealistic expectations on what a relationship should be like. Or they may think, wow, this coach, what if they start prioritizing their clients' needs over our relationship needs? Or what if they can't separate their professional role from their personal role in our relationship? Or they might think, wow, you're going to just start coaching me and trying to change me so I can start fitting your ideals. Or finally, they might assume that you will be emotionally detached or overly analytical in our relationship. Now, it's unlikely that someone would have all of these assumptions when they hear that you're a coach, but they might have a few of them. And they might not even be aware that they have a few of these assumptions until you bring it up. So these are the strategies that I invite you to consider as someone that identifies as a coach and as someone navigating love, whether it be, again, someone you're dating or you're in a relationship with already, or even in a marriage with. This applies to you even if you're in a long-term relationship with someone, because when you become a coach, it is a change to your identity. It's a way that you evolve, and it's going to evolve, and it's going to, in ways, encourage you to have more communication with the ones that you love. So the first thing you want to do is have open and honest communication. Have conversations about each other's expectations and beliefs and concerns regarding your relationship, including any assumptions that they might have about dating a coach or being married to a life coach. You can directly say, hey, listen, I know that I mentioned to you that I am a coach or that I have started a coaching business. I'm just kind of curious if you have any assumptions about that, or if you make that mean anything that might be helpful for us to address. It would be amazing to see what could come up and the things that you can clarify with your spouse or your partner. Then what you want to do is educate and provide insight or clarification. So take that opportunity to educate your partner about what being a coach truly entails and dispel any misconceptions or myths that they might have. Share your own perspective and make sure you emphasize that you are a human being with your own vulnerabilities and your own growth areas. That's really important for your partner to hear. Another thing is to share personal boundaries. So make it clear that while you have expertise in coaching, that you are still going to approach the relationship as an equal partner rather than a coach-client dynamic. This is very important. So make sure you talk about the importance of that mutual support and growth in the relationship. Another thing you'll want to do is show vulnerability. So make sure that you are not withholding your vulnerability from your loved ones because you're a coach. You still want to share your own personal journey and growth and struggles. This is going to help humanize your role as a life coach and create a sense of understanding and relatability to your loved ones. And then finally is setting realistic expectations. So make sure your partner understands that you are not infallible and that relationships, including your own, involve their own ups and downs, challenges, and growth. So encourage them to see the relationship as a journey where you're going to mutually support each other. You're both going to grow rather than it be this quest for perfection. Okay, you're both collaborating in the relationship. It is a shared learning experience where you can both learn and grow from each other. Okay, and you want your partner to understand that so that way they can share their own wisdom and insights with you, and you can learn from them and they can also learn from you. So it's really an environment where there's mutual respect and shared learning. Okay, so those are some ways you can handle assumptions that your dating partner or your significant other might, assumptions they might have. But let's talk about some of the assumptions that you, the coach, may have about yourself as you date. Okay, so see how many of these you might be picking up on right now. You might assume I should have all the answers and be able to fix any relationship challenge that happens in my life. Or you might think I must always maintain a perfect image and embody the ideals that I preach to my clients. That's a big one. Or you might think I should be immune to relationship struggles because of my coaching expertise. Or you might think I should take on the role of constantly guiding and enlightening my partner. Or I should be able to effortlessly apply my coaching skills to my own dating life. Or I should be the one responsible for personal growth and transformation in the relationship. That's a big one. Or I should prioritize my partner's growth and development over my own needs. Or I should be infallible and not make any relationship mistakes or have any personal struggles at all. Or you may think I should be able to maintain complete objectivity and not let my emotions influence the relationship. And the final assumption you may have is I should always be the one leading and taking charge in the relationship. Now, if you notice that you have some of these assumptions, then you're not alone. I too have had many of these assumptions and expectations that I very unfairly placed on myself. So you're not alone if you have these assumptions, because this episode is going to start to dispel those assumptions and help you connect to the human that you are. Okay, so a lot of times when a coach starts to identify closer with that label of being a coach, you might start to have high expectations in your own personal relationships, okay? Because as a coach, you have a very deep understanding of personal growth. And when you have that knowledge, it could lead you to expect a lot of yourself and also of your partners. So it's important for you to be mindful of finding that balance between personal growth and accepting people as they are, okay? Now, coaches, because you possess this very deep understanding of how to, like in the academy, we provide you with a specialized training on relationship coaching, and you learn a lot of concepts that share with you ways to navigate any kind of drama that you might experience in a relationship. You learn exactly how to resolve issues that your clients will have when they are dealing with relationship challenges. So you have a deep understanding of ways that you can navigate those challenges and also communicate effectively. However, you might inadvertently place some of these unrealistic expectations on your own dating and love experiences and your potential partners or current partners. So striving for perfection or constantly analyzing relationships will definitely start hindering your ability to enjoy the natural flow of dating, okay? Now, another issue that you might run into is what's known as role confusion. So being a coach involves you being a guide in people's lives, right? You might even have a form of the role of a mentor for many of your clients. They look up to you. They are inspired by you. And this is a wonderful thing to have, like this relationship with your clients where you're guiding others. But when you're in a relationship, a personal relationship, this requires equal partnership. And it might be challenging for you to navigate these different roles and make sure you have that healthy dynamic with your partner. So you want to make sure that you are communicating openly and honesty about your needs and your expectations, and also make sure that your partner is doing the same. Now, here is a huge challenge, and perhaps the biggest one that you might run into as you navigate your love life as a coach. And that is having an imbalanced power dynamic, okay? Whenever you are approaching a relationship with the mindset of fixing or enlightening your partner, this is going to create an imbalanced power dynamic. Okay, when you go into the relationship thinking that it's your job to fix or educate or enlighten the person you're dating, a lot of issues can arise that are going to very much negatively impact the relationship. And it could lead to one person assuming a superior role while the other person starts feeling inadequate and inferior. Okay, and this is what will create that imbalanced power dynamic. Okay, and some of the potential issues that could arise in a situation like this is, firstly, you'll find that there will be a lack of acceptance and respect in the relationship. Okay, by focusing on fixing or educating the person that you're dating or who you're in a relationship with, you're going to struggle accepting your partner as they are. Okay, because there's that part of you that feels like, I want to fix. I see that they could grow or improve in this one way. I see this block that they could overcome. So your coaching side might come out and think it's your job to enlighten, educate, or fix them. But the opportunity for you is accepting your partner as they are. Okay, without feeling like you need to change, educate, enlighten, or fix them. When you have a lack of acceptance, this can lead to a lack of respect for your partner's autonomy, choices, and their individuality. Okay, it can even create a sense of judgment or criticism that your partner might feel, which could take away at that trust and emotional intimacy that you have. Okay, and over time, this might diminish the emotional connection that you have with your partner, because when you're always in the role of trying to fix or enlighten them, then that's going to shift away from the energy you can put on building a deep emotional connection where you could be vulnerable with each other and create a space of emotional safety. Instead, the relationship can feel more transactional or instructional. Okay. And you don't want that to happen, right? You want to have a stable relationship where there's a foundation of intimacy, emotional bonding, and having a genuine connection. And finally, it could also lead to resentment and frustration. Okay, the person you're dating might feel like they are constantly being evaluated or criticized by you, the coach. This could lead them to have that resentment towards you and start to not feel emotionally safe in the relationship. And they might also start to feel pressure that they need to meet your expectations or conform to your ideals. And of course, all this is going to strain energy from the relationship and the love that you share with each other. So this is why it's so important to have a conversation or a check-in with your partner or the person that you're dating. See exactly what they're feeling. It might be really helpful to directly say, hey, how often do you feel criticized in this relationship? Or how often do you feel that I have expectations of you that you're not meeting? Or how often, if at all, do you feel like I am trying to fix anything about you? And it might be hard to hear that truth from your loved one, but it's also necessary for you to create that emotional safety so that way you both also see each other as equal partners in the relationship. Okay? So when you are navigating love as a coach, you want to approach dating with a mindset of openness and acceptance, okay? You want to make sure that you are valuing your partner's autonomy and choices, okay? You might see choices that they're making and you might not think it's the best choice, or you might think they need some coaching before they make a choice. But it's so important for you, rather than to be the one that's criticizing their choices, be the one to stand by their choices, to allow them to make choices and learn from those choices. So you're witnessing them with love, you are supporting them and you are encouraging them, okay? You want to have that equal partnership. Now, coaches very much excel at active listening and giving guidance, but when it comes to that dating context, it's important to remember that both you and your partner have equal opportunities to share your thoughts and feelings. You want to have that balance. This was a challenge that I actually ran into a lot when I was dating, because as a coach, I knew very much how to listen and reflect back what I was hearing. And a challenge I ran into is I wasn't sharing my own thoughts and feelings and opinions with my partner, because I was so focused on just showing them that I'm listening to them. And that was what I became so used to doing in my role as a coach. So for me, I realized that it was important that I share my own thoughts and feelings more in the relationship and not just always actively listen to my partner. And that created more of a balance when I started doing that. Now, you also might feel a sense of imposter syndrome, because you might think, wow, I'm an experienced and trained life coach and I'm struggling with issues in my own relationships and love life. I want you to remember that everyone has their own unique journey, and it's totally normal for you to experience your own doubts and insecurities. You are allowed to have stress in your life, and you could still be an amazing coach. Okay, I want you to really take this in. You are allowed to have drama in your personal life and still make a huge impact on your clients' lives. You are allowed to have struggles in your love life and still be an incredible coach and get paid very well to coach others, okay? It's kind of like if you think about doctors, right? Doctors can be amazing at providing treatments and medications, but also they might have their own health challenges that they go through. Same thing with therapists, right? They may be amazing at providing therapy services, but that doesn't mean that they don't have their own emotional challenges in their life. Like some of my closest friends are therapists. They are so phenomenal at what they do. And also because I have a friendship with them, I know who they are behind their role as a therapist. And I see that they go through similar traumas and challenges and pains in their life that everyone else goes through. So you're allowed to be a work in progress and still make an amazing impact as a coach. You don't need to have this picture perfect life because nobody does, okay? So you might wonder, what do you do if your partner struggles? Do you just let them struggle? So I want to share with you a scenario where a life coach is in a relationship with someone and that person expresses a struggle they're going through. And I want to share with you what would be an unhealthy response to have as a coach and what would be a more healthy response. So let's imagine that your partner says that they're struggling with confidence and they're having issues with their self-esteem. An unhealthy response would be the life coach trying to fix and educate their partner right away. So they might say things like, you shouldn't really feel that way about yourself. Let me just show you the right way to start thinking and boost your confidence. Or, you know what, I can help you overcome your issues and insecurities. Just follow my advice and you're going to be more confident in no time. Or you might say something like, I've worked with clients who have had similar issues, and I know exactly what you need to change your mindset, right? In all of these responses, the coach is assuming a superior role and dismissing their partner's emotions and experiences. So this might come across as patronizing or invalidating, and that's going to create a power imbalance and strain the relationship. Because it suggests that the coach is seeing their partner as a project that needs to be fixed rather than a person who deserves empathy and support. Okay, so a more healthy response will involve you listening and acknowledging what they're saying, not offering your advice unless it's requested, and encouraging them to get whatever support they need. So you might say something like, in the same scenario, I'm really sorry to hear that you're struggling with your self-confidence. It's totally natural to have ups and downs, and I am here to support you through it. You might say, I'm hearing that you're struggling right now. Is there anything specifically that I can do to support you? Or do you want to explore this together? You might say something like, thank you for sharing this with me. I really do wish that you are able to find a way to move through this, and I'm here to listen and encourage you and offer you guidance if you are open to it. You might also say, if it's a recurring challenge that your partner or loved one is going through, you might simply say, have you considered talking with someone about this, talking with a professional coach or a professional therapist, right? You are not, just because you are a trained coach, just because you're a trained mental health professional, does not mean that that's the role that you take in the relationship. In fact, as we've gone over, it's quite unhealthy for you to do that. You want to show empathy for your loved one's challenges, acknowledge whatever emotions they're going through, validate their experiences, and really create a space for them to be open with you and encourage them to make their own decisions, okay? So you want to offer support in that way rather than assuming that you're in a position of authority, because that's what's going to help your partner ultimately develop that self-confidence. That is what they are needing and wanting, okay? So it's important for coaches to remember in their personal relationship, prioritize empathy and respect and equal partnership. You're not trying to fix or educate your loved ones, okay? And I want to end with, before I go into the benefits, I want to say that if you are dating or in a relationship, or like specifically if you're a dating and relationship coach, because it might really hit home if that's your specialty or niche, you might be afraid of having conflicts in your own relationship, because you might think that makes you hypocritical. Okay, so you might think that who are you to really help others with relationship challenges when you've got conflicts in your own relationship? Remember, being a great coach doesn't mean you need to have a perfect life. It just means that you're dedicated to doing the work on yourself and continuing to learn and grow. I also don't want you to stay in a relationship just to maintain an image. Okay, you might think, oh my gosh, here I am doing relationship coaching, and what does it say about me if I were to break up with my husband or wife or spouse or partner, right? You might worry that if you break up, that might be perceived as being incongruent with all the guidance that you give to your clients, okay? Now, before I was in the space of training coaches, one of the niches that I worked with were single gay men, and I provided a lot of support and programs and resources for them wanting to find love. And in that process of doing relationship coaching, I've had breakups. And I've actually felt like that just makes me even more credible, because I think it's one of the most important lessons that you can teach someone, which is how to know when it's time to leave and how to know ways to break up without drama. So that became actually fuel for more inspiration and options and wisdom that I could impart on my relationship coaching clients, okay? So you do not want to stay in a relationship just to maintain an image. Remember, you are a human being, and having a breakup doesn't make you a failure as a coach. Just like if you are an entrepreneur coach or a business coach, just because you don't have to be making more money every single time. There's going to be ebbs and flows in your business, right? Like there are certain months where I don't make as much as other months. It's not always up, 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 up. Okay, but I don't feel like at all that makes me less credible as a business coach at all, because it's important to learn from the months where you're making less money, and it's also important to see business as a long game. So it's important to realize that no matter what specialty it is you might have as a coach, you can have your own ups and downs, and this is actually going to allow you to relate to your clients on a deeper level, right? If all that you ever experienced was success and ease, then it would be very hard for you to relate to your clients as they're going through their own struggles. So as a coach, you are not immune to challenges that you might go through. And when you can acknowledge that and be mindful of it, it's going to allow you to bring so much more authenticity into your coaching, which is actually going to help you grow your practice, because people will appreciate that and they will want to, they will trust you because of it. Okay. And the final thing I'll say about when you go through relationship challenges specifically, and let's say that you are doing relationship coaching, you're not obligated to share all the ins and outs of your personal lives with your clients. Okay. Some coaches might assume that you don't have to share every little drama or argument or something that you might think, oh, well, I need to be transparent. I need to tell them every single thing that's going on in my personal life. You absolutely don't need to do that. You can have boundaries, and you could filter out the things that you do share and the things that you don't share. You don't have to, you get to choose when you are vulnerable with someone, okay? You don't just have to be vulnerable every opportunity that it arises. You get to choose when it's your time to be vulnerable and share something personal. You're not obligated to share all of those personal ins and outs with your clients. Okay, now I want to end this episode with the benefits of knowing coaching, because there are so many. There are so many benefits to knowing the skill of coaching. Knowing the skill of coaching can greatly enhance your dating life. If you're single, it's going to help you navigate the dating world a lot more effectively. When I got into coaching, as I said, there were a lot of periods over the past decade where I've been single, and coaching has allowed me to have so much more patience with the dating process at times I've been single, and really know more about what I want, what I value, how to communicate in a relationship, how to connect and acknowledge partners in a relationship. And it's also helped me when I've been in an actual relationship, not just the dating part, when you find someone and you're in a great relationship, how to build that trust. So there are lots of ways that coaching can positively impact all of your romantic connections. One is your communication. Okay, coaching shows you and teaches you how to be an active listener, how to express empathy, how to validate, how to be a clear communicator. So all of these skills are going to allow you to better understand your partner's needs express yourself more authentically, and even navigate conflicts more constructively. So it helps you become better at communicating. Another thing is it helps you become more self-aware, right? Because as a coach, you'll be more reflective. You'll better understand what your values are, what your triggers are, so that way you can approach dating with clarity and intention. Like, I remember before coaching, things would bother me and I'd get triggered, and it would be so hard to handle all those triggers. I would just shut down. But now it's like, it like rarely happens where I would blame or criticize, because I just know that if something's coming up for me, that's my stuff that I got to work through. So I've come a long way with that. And when I look back over the past decade, and I credit all of that to coaching. And then also, when you know the skill of coaching, it helps you become better at planning and goal setting. Okay, so when you learn the skill of coaching, you learn how to help people set goals and create action plans so they can achieve those goals. And this can help you in your dating life. This can help you clarify what you want in a relationship, set the goals that align with your desires, have a clear vision for your romantic future, and take those steps towards creating the kind of relationship that you desire. Okay, so there are so many different ways that coaching will benefit your relationships. In summary, again, it allows you to be a more effective communicator, more self-awareness, better at goal setting and planning. And overall, I think just making you a more encouraging and positive type of person to be around. Like, a lot of people that have known me before I went through coach training and after have said that I just have such a wonderful energy that I exude, and I really appreciate that acknowledgement. And I do credit that also to coaching, because coaching has allowed me to show up with a greater vibrancy in my life. And I see it even in the coaches that go through the academy. Like, as they go through the program, they are just more energized and their faces just light up more. And it's beautiful to see. Coaches learn how to provide support and encourage people. They learn how to believe in people at the deepest possible level. So in your dating life, this is going to help you uplift and support your partners and loved ones by offering that encouragement and being someone who celebrates their successes and being a source of support that can overall improve your loved one's satisfaction with the relationship. So you become a very encouraging, positive person to be around as well. So finally, to end off this episode, this was a long one, and if you are still here, you are amazing. Thanks for sticking around. This was fun for me to go over, because it's a topic that I have never really heard talked about on all of the different resources out there for life coaching, which are typically just about, like, how do you make more clients, make more money, get more clients, become a better coach. But how do you live as a coach is always something that I've wanted to share with others. So thank you for listening to this. I hope it's been helpful. Remember that using coaching skills in your dating life is not about becoming a coach to your partner. So just remember that. Using coaching skills in your dating life, such as active listening or encouraging or goal setting, those kind of skills, that's not the same as you becoming your partner's coach. It's more about you incorporating principles and techniques that are going to enhance the quality of your relationships. Okay, so make sure that you, again, approach your romantic relationships with authenticity, respect, and the willingness to learn and grow together. All right, that's what I got on this episode. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.